Hey you beautiful people, how's it going? And welcome to a new video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the loot from 400 maps, 200 of which are using 1 Bloodfilled vessel, and 200 of which we're using 4 Bloodfilled vessels. So 400 maps in total. Now when it comes to the Atlas tree for these, Bloodfilled vessels are kind of iffy because there's no real nodes on the tree that help them out, so the farm with them is kind of dry compared to other methods, to be honest. The only notable you need for Ritual is profitable prayers. Ritual altars in your maps allow rerolling favors 2 additional times, and this will here, you want to take all the nodes as well, because they give increased chance of special rewards, as well as reduced tribute used to reroll. And then you'll want the small nodes as well for increased tribute on the other nodes, but these nodes don't actually matter. If you're running 1 instead of 4, you will need a cult devotion, because 1 vessel doesn't guarantee 4. You can get 3 or 4, so just bear that in mind if for whatever reason you decide to run that. Now when we initially started running these, we were going to try with Wandering Path, drop all the notables, and then run the Sextant, which gives +1 reroll and a free reroll. So it turns out in 3.18 that was actually changed, so you don't get the additional reroll, you just get a free reroll, which is your initial one now. So that was really, really sad because I was kind of excited about trying that out until I realized that they changed the Sextant, so that's sad. But yeah, getting into the loot, so we'll just take a look at this, and then I'll show you the spreadsheet which breaks down total cost and then comparisons of the loot overall. So 1 vessel, you can see the most notable things are going to be the big drop. So 5 divines, nearly 4x. In this one we had 24x and, well, nearly 25x and 24 divines. So that's the biggest thing. We've got quite a lot of fractured and synth items as well, which was going to be the primary reason that I wanted to farm Ritual due to recombinators in this league. Unfortunately, with recombinators not going core, a big part of the profit from this will actually be useless in 3.19 unless they add a similar crafting method to recombinators, which I highly doubt, since recombinators were absolutely busted in this league. So let's get into the spreadsheet very quickly. So for Bloodfilled vessels are about 13 for 1 exalted orb, give or take, most of the time. So 800 for the 200 4 times was 61.5x, and 200 for the 200 maps that we ran were 15.38x. So this is quite significant. If you're running 4, you're going to be going for mirrors, mage blood, stuff like that. If you're running 1, you can do alternate farming strategies at the same time, which is probably far better than 4, and you'll probably make a decent amount of money, but I'm still not sure if it's actually worth to run 1 Bloodfilled vessel. So yeah, if I didn't say it, maybe I forgot. The loot from all of this is specifically just from the Ritual altar windows. No drops, no map drops, anything like that. Nothing. This is just purely what you would get from Rituals. So comparing currency, 4 vessels versus 1 vessel straight out the gate, you can see that the total exalted orbs is much higher for 4. Of course, this is to be expected as you get better rewards, and you can see the difference in raw exalted orbs is very significant. Nearly 25 exalted orbs on a 4 versus 4 on 1. Chaos orbs wise, actually not too much of a difference, 430 on 4 and 321 on 1. Scouring's relatively the same. Stacked decks a lot more with 4, and bubblegum currency overall, when you're running 1 vessel, you're not typically going to have to save as much tribute as you would to buy exalted orbs and stuff like that. So you actually have more to spend on bubblegum currency, which results in you getting far more alterations, fusions, regrets, vows, chromatics, stuff like that. So yeah, this is actually not too bad, to be honest, especially at like league start, where these things will be a lot more expensive if for whatever reason you decide to, I don't know, farm Ritual and then run your own 1 Bloodfilled vessels with another strategy, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, overall, 43.29 from raw currency here and 11.74 from 1 Bloodfilled vessels. Rogue markers as well, guys, are very expensive all the time. I always collect rogue markers. In Ritual, they give you about 3,000 per stack. It's quite insane how much they give you. So I would definitely hoard these if you, for whatever reason, do Ritual. 208,000 from 4 versus 96,800 from 1. And these are about 36,000, 35,000 to 1x earlier in the league. So just bear that in mind. Pick up your rogue markers. Very good. 4 vessels, Ritual specific. So Ritual specific is just bases like Blizzard Crowns, the Storm Rider boots, which aren't worth anything in this league. Black Flame, which is a Ritual specific unique, which is usually very popular. I'm not sure if it's going to be popular in 3.19 with the unique buffs. But yeah, in this case, we got 4 Blizzard Crowns and 5 Black Flames from the Ritual specific. From 4 times, and for 1 times we got 2 Blizzard Crowns and 1 Black Flame. So quite a big difference there in the Black Flame. Blizzard Crown doubled the difference as well. So yeah, quite noticeable, but not really gonna do much. Like 5.5x versus 1.7x in total from those. Maps wise, you don't get mini maps. Conqueror maps, Elder maps, Shaper maps, and Synth maps is what I'm talking about here. So Conqueror maps, we actually had more from 1x vessels. So we had 5 from 1x and only 3 from 4x. So that was a bit weird. But we did get 5 Shaper and Elder versus 1 Shaper and Elder and 3 Synth versus 2. No Cortex in 400 maps, which honestly is quite impressive because you usually do get a couple of Cortexes from 4x, so I was kind of taken a bit back a bit by that. But yeah, 2.27x versus 1.58x there, that's the difference. And then the miscellaneous stuff, which is just scarabs, fossils, and fractured items. So I haven't included what they are specifically, but you can see that we had less scarabs with 4x, but of higher value overall. So we had 32. Most of these are expedition and whatnot. We had 44 for you know, 1x, and this could just be bulk sold on TFT. Same with fossils, 0.69 over here, 82, 0.82 over here, 91. Prime Chaotic Resonators, relatively the same. We had 6 with 4x and 5 with 1x. So these are going to be worth more money in 3.19. They were very cheap this league because of recombinators, again, kind of making them redundant. And fractured items wise, nearly double from 4x vessels, having 30 fractured, it should say slash synthesis items there. But yeah, 30 versus 17. So a lot of money would have been generated by these fractured items in this league in particular, because you get a lot of attribute fractures and you get a lot of Chaos Rose fractures from Ritual. At least I did it in my case. But yeah, I'm not going to include the loot because they're going to be worth so much less in 3.19, at least I predict, because there's not going to be recombinators around. So are these worth it? You know, looking at this, you can pretty much tell that it's kind of lackluster, if you will. So we'll look at 1x vessel first, which is actually in the green. So 17.31x in total from 1x vessels, cost 15.38. So yes, there is profit, but it's just under 2x in 13.3 hours. So definitely not good. Definitely not good. And 4x vessels, let's have a look. What's in the box? It's 53.63x, which sounds like a good amount, but then you remember we spent 61.5x in total to run them, and it took 13.33 hours as well for those. So meaning, yeah, not very good unless you get the mirror from 4x as usual. Usually 4x you kind of don't expect to make money unless you get the mirror, but I was actually quite surprised at how much closer I was to breaking even this league than I was compared to other leagues, because usually you are in heavy loss with 4x vessels. 1x vessels, you can run other strategies with them, so maybe this could be okay. Maybe. It depends what 3.19 is like, to be honest. If I were to include the fraction and synthesis items, both of these would have been in profit by quite a decent amount, but still not better than current existing farming strategies. So overall, too long didn't read. Ritual, not worth it. Nodes are lackluster on the passive tree. Unfortunately, still, I think they need to be buffed. Hopefully, this is either being reworked in 3.19 or it gets removed and gets replaced with Ultimatum. I would be happy with that, to be honest. But yeah, Ritual, still kind of bad unless you get a mirror, of course. But yeah, that's just about it for this video, guys. I do have hopefully a league starter planned for 3.19, so that'll be my next video, which will be after patch notes reveal and whatnot, if it's still decent. So I'll catch you guys then. Yeah, till then, take care, guys. It's been great, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Big shout out to my King Patreon supporters before I go. Sen, Multi-K, Nifty, and Desire. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the support, and I'll catch you guys next time.